Hello traders, Gary Wagner here. It is Monday, the 30th day of July 2012, approximately 11 a.m. in Honolulu, 5 o'clock in New York City, and this is the daily report for gold and silver. Very, very quiet in terms of markets moves in gold. Silver's up a little bit. We'll get to that in a second. Currently, we have silver just trading quietly, 1621.60, as you can see, current print on the screen. It is down about $1.60 in the cash market, 1623, 1622 bid-ask spread. That's according to Kitco. Silver, though, is another story. In silver, we have a nice move this morning, currently trading up about 40 cents on the day, 1.44% higher, 28.29, 28.19 is what Kitco has for the bid-ask spread. As we look at the September contract, that seems to have closed at 28.13. As I said, that market up nicely and sizably this morning. Traders, we'll start out today with a daily chart. This, of course, is the cash market, spot market of gold. But realize we have all kinds of meetings and reports that are really just right around the corner coming up this week. Of course, Friday we have the U.S. jobs report. Tomorrow we begin the FOMC meeting. That's here in the United States. We've got all kinds of things going on over in Europe. And we'll have to see how these pieces of fundamental data play out in the marketplace itself. On a technical basis, the observations I'm seeing are as follows. We did hit an intraday high, and this is on Friday, of right around 1530. You can see that mark right in here. Historically, this is really that top that it is trying to compete with in terms of it having some sort of resistance. What we can see is as the market bounced very eloquently off of this support level right in here, and you can see it here. You can see it coming shy, but having quite a tiny but nonetheless a higher low. There's no doubt you can see some resistance right in this area. The question remains, what will it take for this market to be able to break above that? Because my belief is, if in fact it can break above that, let me draw this out a little bit, what we will witness is the marketplace actually going to this upper resistance line. Now, obviously, before it has any chance of doing that on a technical basis, it has to be able to make it over this 1630, call it 1630, 1635 area. And really, until it does that, this is the resistance area that we need to beat. We've had one attempt, and this attempt has failed. But when we consider looking at it historically, there was really, over, let's say, the last 1, 2, 3 months, call it, it has not had the ability since we have seen this fall, and this fall was the fall from about 1802 right in here, that secondary high, after hitting an all-time record high of 1920 back last year, beginning in September, of course, of 2011. Since we hit this secondary high, it has really traded, of course, lower, but you can see that at one point, this particular area, in a very loose sense, was support. As the market traded above it, you can see where it breaks and breaks solidly through that point. Once it broke through that point, though, traders, that had become really resistance in the area. You can see each time that it makes a play for this particular price point, 1630, it is unable to do that. On our last outing, it did make, as we pointed out, this really nice lower or higher low. That to me is a bullish statement in the market. But nonetheless, the market has to be able to take out 1630, 1635 before we feel any kind of optimism. And the optimism is simply going to take us to, as I said, the upper levels of this current resistance. And the resistance right now is sloping lower, so at some point they'll meet. But I have a feeling we will test this over the next few days. As you can see, a very nice move in the silver market. We'll go ahead and blow this up. We'll also look at cash in a second. This is a daily chart, September contract. There can be no doubt. We talked about this almost to death really over the last couple of weeks, but to me it's really important in that we can see this really, really strong level of technical support, this triple bottom that we have identified in the silver market. And we have since then seen this market really blow past it and move back up. My personal belief right now is we are headed towards the 30.60 area, $30.60 before we find any kind of really strong resistance. We do have some resistance in a few areas, more minor resistance right in here, $36, and then currently where we're at, as you can see, that level is a small level of resistance. Now, when we go ahead and blow this chart up, you can see what really the sizable move that we have seen, and let's go ahead and convert that to our Henkin Ashi. And as you can see, we have done that. We have simply converted our daily into a Henkin Ashi. Still very, very strong support right in this area, $26. And you also notice that when we look at the individual daily candles, we have gotten a nice body size right in here. The nicest since we have seen this, the beginning of this rise. We have an absence of these lower tails all the way over the last 1, 2, 3 trading days. And the market is trading, as you can see, up near the high of the day. Traders, we are looking at the cash market of silver, 720-minute chart Henkin Ashi format. Reason for looking at this chart this morning is it really gives us a strong indication of the power of this current trend, 28.15 current price. And as you can see, these last couple of candles have really grown in size. Where's our real next level of resistance going to be? Well, we should find some resistance in this particular band, this being the absolute highs on these particular Henkin Ashi candles, and then the bodies where I consider us to get more genuine information. And as you can see, we're kind of butt up against that right now. We'll have to see how it reacts in that area. And then when we go ahead and really compress that chart, we can see these areas a little bit clearer. This is 28. 29 right in here, you see a little bit of resistance that we should get. And then again here at 30. These are our sub areas that I would look for very carefully. If in fact this market continues higher, we've got a great long position. Will we get resistance at any of these 3 points? Will the market just kind of go straight up past $30? I think that we'll find some sort of resistance in these 3 areas. You'll want to calibrate your trade accordingly. This has been Gary Wagner, wishing you as always good trading. We'll talk to you tomorrow for another daily update and review. Bye-bye.